What's up, guys? I made a bet with a friend in here last week that this 9.8 white pager first appearance of Deadpool was going to sell within 24 hours. If I was right, he owes me 20 bucks. And if it took just a little bit over 24 hours, I owe him 20 bucks. Well, guess what sold within 15 hours of being live on eBay? The New Mutants 98 9.8. And the reality is, there are some books that I've had over and over again this year that seem to sell within 24 hours.
So obviously you guys know that there's going to be some easy movers, but it's not exactly the ones that you would think. For instance, it's actually kind of hard to sell Hulk 181s. I think it often prices people out. But sometimes also you have really expensive books on this list that are pretty much just as expensive, but will sell within the 24-hour window. You can take with this what you want. All I know is I've had a few of these in the last year or two, and every time I get them in, they do move for me within 24 hours. So I think we can't not call them the easiest movers in the game. I want you guys to drop down below. What is a book you've been on the hunt for? What's a book that you think in your personal collection is an easy mover? And is there anything on this list that frankly surprises you? Don't forget about the 50,000 subscriber giveaway, which is coming up extremely soon. You could win an ASM 300/9/8. Now, interestingly, Amazing Spider-Man 300 is not on this list. It is what I would call a really good mover, an easy mover, meaning like it'll sell within a few weeks or a month. But I'll tell you what is on this list. Giant frickin' size X-Men, baby. I actually have been lucky enough to have like 10 of these this year in. It is a book I do pay a extra high percentage that I normally would pay for comics for. But it's okay because it moves within 24 hours. And I put the denotation here that in any grade. I've had like a 3.0. I had a 9.4 this year. I had a 9.2. I had an 8. I had a 7. I had a 6. A 5.5. I've had all kinds of them. 24 hours. And we're talking about books priced at actual fair market value. Next is New Mutants 98. Anything above a 9 is a really easy mover. But if you have a 9.8 and you're at FMV, yeah, it's going to be gone within 24 hours after you pop it on eBay. Next is a really surprising one because it's not technically really a key other than the cover being classic, I guess. And it's kind of expensive. Detective 880. Just a great jock cover. 9.8. Gotta be a 9.8. If you got a 9.8, 24 hours, it's gone. The Crow, #1. Extremely desirable book in really any grade. I don't get this in very often. When I do, it sells immediately. Also, Invincible #1, but here's where people do get priced out. The 9.8 is very expensive. So I would actually say every time I've had this in up to a 9.8, meaning even a 9.6, which is still really expensive, it sells within 24 hours. 9.8s take a little bit longer because the jump from a 9.6 to a 9.8 is like double, so it's pretty crazy. X-Men 141. People love their Days of Future Past. It is one of the best covers of all time. I think Rob Liefeld even said it might be his favorite cover of all time. He might not be wrong, too. I would say anything over a 9.0 is selling same day. Silver Surfer 1, any grade. Silver Surfer 4, any grade. Those two, it used to be the case where also 3, First Mephisto, but that's kind of off the table now. 1 and 4, any grade sells immediately. Let's go back to X-Men. 268. It really is, once again, just a classic cover. It's a Jim Lee. Gotta be 9.8. If you have a 9.8 and you're actually at FMV, 24 hours, done. This one's the first one on the list that confuses me. Sword of Azrael, #1. First appearance of Azrael with DC. Here's what's weird about this. Unlike the rest of this list, usually at any given time, you can find 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 on eBay right now. So I don't really know why when you put it up at FMV, it sells right away, because there's a lot of them out there. I think there's a lot of DC 90s fanboys that really remember the whole Nightfall stuff really fondly. That's the only thing I can really think. Batman 189, first Silver Age appearance of Scarecrow. Do not underestimate how much people love the Scarecrow. It's also going to be an expensive book, but the most attainable Scarecrow key you can really get. Otherwise, you're dipping into the golden age and it gets really expensive. And frankly, that stuff doesn't really hit the market that often. Another Batman here, Detective Comics 400. So we're talking first Man-Bat. And also, for the record, any Neil Adams slab over an 8.0 is going to do really well. This one in particular, I did say anything over an 8.0 has been a 24-hour mover for me too. Crazy. Tomb of Dracula 10, First Blade. Wow. For a book that I don't think I had a single copy before this year, I actually have been lucky enough to get a couple leads, and I've had a few of them this year. Every single one has sold right away. Now I know why I wasn't getting them for so many years, because people didn't really want to sell them. They are very sought after. This one's kind of an obvious one. Fantastic Four, 48, First Silver Surfer, and Galactus. Those Silver Surfer keys, man, they're crazy. Even after a movie came and went, this thing is still immediately selling. The last two that I was able to find was anytime I have the first Hobgoblin in a 9.4 or better, especially if it's a 9.8, but even a 9.4 will sell same day. And I decided to end the list with one that I think is actually kind of a surprise, and that's Lois Lane 106. It's got to be above a 6.0 for it to be an easy mover, but yep, that's the one where they turn Lois black. People really remember this fondly, not fondly. You can take your pick. I don't actually know. Maybe it's the absurdity of it that people like. Maybe it's the cover. I don't know. This was a very Marvel-heavy list here, which was surprising to me because I feel like I actually get DC books a lot less frequently of high significance. But Marvel's the juggernaut. Pun intended, man. People will always want really, really obvious, great Marvel books, and these ones are the no slouchers. Hope you enjoy the free tip. See you at the next video, and keep on hunting. The antique shop that I'm set out of, I've got my own room, I'm one of 10 vendors, but I'm not too worried about me. I seem to continually have some good months over there. People come to visit from the channel, and people like what they see and they shop again and again. It's these other vendors I'm a little worried about, and it's because construction was set up and it's been there for 4 or 5 months. So a lot of the other vendors that rely on foot traffic have been hurting pretty bad. So for the foreseeable future, if you get anything from any vendor other than me in the shop, all my $10 and under stuff is going to be 30% off. This is for the foreseeable future, so come, bring the kids, bring the wife, do a little spending, and be rewarded for it. I'll see you at the next video, and keep on hunting.